welcome to episode 12 of Summer of Stylite. I apologize for the delay. I got my roots done, holla, but I actually had a severe allergic reaction to the mask. So I ended up like my face turned this color, like a deep pink raspberry color. It was really unattractive, so I had to take a breather. So I was like very safe and very good, and went to an amazing hairstylist. But yeah, the consequences of hair care in the time of COVID is sometimes an allergic reaction to a mask. So there you go. Anyway, so yeah, so a couple days delay. I actually, it's interesting because I'm really dealing right now with the fucking beast that is perfectionism. It really just came out of nowhere this week. It's something that I've struggled with, as I've shared in earlier episodes, basically my entire life, particularly around music and music creation. I was classically trained, piano and some voice, and basically, for those of you who have studied classical piano, it can be something. I mean, I'm so grateful for the experience and the skills and the technique that I've learned doing it, but I found, from my own personal experience of it, people have all different experiences of it, but it was very just very rigid and it had to sound a certain way, it had to be played a certain way. Technique is everything, which is important because that's basically how the composer wants it to be heard. But I just found it to be sort of just kept reinforcing that perfectionistic mentality of like, this has to be perfect. I have to make this piece sound exactly the way that it's supposed to sound, and if I don't, then it's a total failure. So what's really interesting and also frustrating is that when I apply that same perfectionistic taskmaster has to be done a certain way or sound a certain way or be a certain way to my own music creation, everything just fucking grinds to a halt, and probably with good reason. So I am in the full perfectionism paralysis. That's, the two go hand in hand. When I get into perfectionism, I get into paralysis. And wow, it's so fucking frustrating, but also really humbling and illuminating, because it just makes me realize there's no point. It really is perfect. It really is the enemy of the good. And I mean, in this day and age too, when we see all of these principles or institutions or things that were normally sort of on these pedestals falling, or not what we thought they were, or they have been historically very exclusionary, it just starts to make you rethink the whole idea of what is good and what is good in art and what is good in music and what is good in creating, because again, so much has been dictated by a very small group, and by the grace of God or whoever you think, it's starting to change, and I think that that's amazing. And again, it's sort of that idea, like, what is perfect? What is good? Is it what everybody wants? And I think that's sort of the crossroads that you come to as an artist. It's sort of like, do I want to sound like everybody else, or do I want to sound the way in here, whatever's coming out, not even what I might think it's supposed to sound like, but what I sort of involuntarily am creating. And so it's a really scary place, because it's a very lonely, and for many artists, it could mean a lifetime of rejection to really follow your heart. I mean, Van Gogh is such a brilliant example of that. I mean, his work was rejected and he died I mean, his work was accepted in some way, but it was generally largely ignored by the general public, and then obviously that all changed. He died penniless, but after his death, obviously now, Van Goghs go for a hell of a lot of money. So it just goes to show you that it is so subjective. And so I'm saying all that to just say, like, perfectionism and waiting for something to be good enough, or keep rejecting something you're trying to create because it doesn't sound right. It's just the path to misery and darkness. And if you're anything like me, it just is, it's the opposite of joy and productivity and really feeling that you're in the groove. I mean, that's sort of what I think of it now. It's like, to do a little throwback to vinyl, I think of records, and you want to get into the groove of the record, where everything just, it's not skipping, it's not jumping backwards, it's like you're in the groove. And sometimes it's like on the head of a pin. It's a very hard, it's hard to find that perfect place, but then when you do, some people call it the flow. Man, it's just incredible. So anyway, that's what's been going on this week. And again, I just wanted to be honest and straight up and tell you guys what was happening. And the song this week that I was going to focus on, which I am, is called Out of Sight. And I have not, again, just dealing with the perfectionism, I haven't mixed it. It's another old song that I really love the chorus. I think the chorus has a lot of potential. I hate the verse and I hate the bridge, and I'm okay with that. Like, I can accept that, and it's not perfectionism, or it just doesn't. And I'm grateful for the verse and the bridge, because it obviously got me to that chorus that I really like and that I can definitely do something with. So I'm gonna let you just hear the verse and the bridge and just see.
Feel it in the back of my mouth, like a frozen word, or a cry, or a gasp of air. And I touch it in the thick of my skin, like a ticking clock, beating fast. It's an unsaid day. If I step off the ledge, if I leap into the sky,
So it's almost like two different songs. Like, one's kind of almost like this jazzy electric piano, just sort of that jazzy thing going on, and then the bridge is kind of almost like this ambient, like, just kind of goes off into the ether, and there's no real structure or force to it. So here's the chorus that I really dig.
if I leap into the sky, will my feet hit solid ground? If I'm living in the dark, will I ever see the light? And I don't wanna be lost, I wanna be found. So I step off the ledge and out of sight.
This is something I can work with. I really like the drums. This song is about yearning. It's this, and again, it's sort of that idea of being in the hallway or being at a crossroads. There's no guarantee, if you follow your heart, that that's going to bring you any sort of success, or that people are they're gonna dig it. And that's the risk that we take when we jump off the cliff into the unknown. There's no guarantee. It's like when people quit their 9 to 5 and they're like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go and pursue my dream. It would be so great if, and then they lived happily ever after, but there's no guarantee of that, and there's many people that have jumped off the cliff in that sense and into the unknown, and things didn't work out, the way they thought they would. But I'm sure they would all tell you, as I would, is there one iota of regret? No, absolutely not. So this song is basically kind of at the brink or on the edge of the cliff, and it's saying, I don't want to be lost, I want to be found. So I step off the ledge out of sight. It's all these questions about just the insecurities, what. But this is what I want. Is it going to be too much? Am I ever going to sort of am I ever going to be happy? Am I ever going to achieve my heart's desire? And it's also opposites, like paradoxes, reaching for the sky, will my feet hit solid ground? So it's that simultaneous yearning that we have, where we want to reach for our dreams, but we don't want to lose everything we have. And the song doesn't have an answer. It's literally just that I step off the ledge out of sight, and that's all there is. And the verses, I think, are going to be that build up to that. Like it's something you can't ignore. It's something that keeps nagging at you, sort of like wakes you up at night and kind of rattles your cage, and when you're drinking too much, or keeps coming back to kind of haunt your brain. Why didn't I do that? Maybe I should have done this, or what about this, or maybe I should try that. That's that little nagging. That's what the verses are going to be about. And then again, the chorus is that I step off the ledge out of sight. I'm really serious tonight. I don't know what it is, and so I hope this isn't a downer for you guys. I like coming to you every week, because it's just sort of like forces me to just show you my dirty laundry, whatever way, shape, or form it might take. But yeah, so I hope I'm not too much of a bummer. I'm really happy to share this with you, and I'm again so grateful that we're at week 12 and we're, well, technically week 13, but we're still kicking it, and still putting this out. And I think there'll be like 2 more songs, so we're starting to get towards the end, which it's August 16th, no, August 17th. So yeah, we're getting, summer is still in summer, but yeah, we're starting to like see that things are changing, moving towards the fall. Obviously the fall for everybody is really uncertain, but change, that's what it's about. Changes. I'm gonna stop babbling. Grateful for you guys. Thank you again. Thank you for joining me one more week at Summer of Stylite. I really appreciate you guys. I adore you. Take good care, and I will see you next time on Summer of Stylite.